Hello and welcome to the programme.
Coming up tonight, Guard of Honour, lifeboat and Coast Guard crew from Withensea are among the mourners for Sarah and Grace Keeling, who tragically lost their lives on the East Coast.
It's incredibly moving, and it is about showing our last respects and love for Grace and her mum as they went on the final journey.
Smart motorways. A new report concludes they're safer than before they were upgraded, but not everyone is convinced.
The Rugby League is back and Hull KR are taking no chances as they face amateur side Loch Lane.
And do you have what it takes to become a Grimsby Town mascot?
Good evening. There have been moving scenes, including a Guard of Honour from rescuers who tried in vain to save a mother and daughter who drowned off the East Yorkshire coast as their funeral was held in Mansfield.
15-year-old Grace Keeling died after being swept into the sea in a New Year's tragedy in Withensea. It triggered a major rescue operation. Her mother Sarah also died, along with passerby Mark Ratcliffe, as they desperately tried to save her.
Well, this lunchtime, hundreds of bright pink balloons were tied to railings and others were released into the sky as the cortege passed Grace's school. One message left there read, "I miss you more than I can put into words." Emma Wilkinson reports.
Together, Sarah and Grace made their final journey through the community they called home. Hundreds of loved ones, friends and strangers gathered to honour the unbreakable bond between a mother and daughter. Earlier, as they passed by the school Grace attended, pupils and teachers held pink balloons to remember a classmate known for her kindness, warmth and positivity. Her mum Sarah was once a student here too.
Grace was in our current Year 11s and Sarah was the next student, so they've got a long-lasting relationship with the academy, and it's actually been a privilege to be able to show our respects and celebrate what wonderful people they were. Grace just was an outstanding individual. She walked into a classroom, she brightened the room. Staff.
At Mansfield Crematorium, the RNLI and Withensea lifeboat crew who tried to save Sarah and Grace formed a Guard of Honour. Funeral director Paul is a close family friend and says the number of people who wanted to be here today reflects how many lives they touched.
Sarah was in school with me, very bubbly, lively, outgoing, loved the sport, loved the netball, really lovely lady, very well respected. And it goes for Grace. Grace is in the same school as my children, again, lively, bubbly, funny, respectful, loving. I'm not sure what you can want more in a person.
It was last month that Grace, while standing on some steps, was swept out to sea by a large wave. Her mum Sarah and passerby Mark Ratcliffe both died trying to save her. They were found later that day, but it would be another 13 days of anxious waiting and searching day and night before Grace would also be found. So there was relief that they were reunited, and people filled every available space here to listen to the service today.
When you've been robbed of a future, where else do you turn but to the brightness of the past?
They have touched so many lives just by being themselves. They were both such bright stars, and it does feel sad that the world has now have to spin on without them. They were loved beyond words, and trying to find any words that captures that is difficult, but I hope we did them justice today.
Those who attended this funeral were encouraged to wear bright colours for Grace and leopard print for Sarah, to remember lives that were full of light and happiness, lives that should have been longer. Emma Wilkinson, ITV News.
Remembering Grace Keeling and her mother Sarah, who tragically lost their lives on the 2nd of January.
Well, there's much more background to this story on our website. That's live now at itv.com/calendar, where you'll also find a roundup of the rest of the day's news. That's itv.com/calendar.
There's a search on this evening for two young teenage girls who've gone missing from their home in Lincolnshire.
Officers say the pair, named only as Ava and Lexi, were last seen buying tickets from Spalding Station yesterday morning. Matt Price is with us now and is following developments. Matt, officers say they could be in the southwest.
Absolutely, yeah. This plea initially came from police this morning. They tell us the two girls. Let's take a look at their pictures here. You've got Ava on the left-hand side of your screen, Lexi on the right. It's thought they bought tickets from Spalding Station and then initially travelled to Peterborough, then now thought to be heading over to Cornwall. Now, officers tell us the behaviour is totally out of character, and as you'd imagine, teams are working so hard to try and locate them as quickly as possible. Our news desk have been in touch with the force. They've updated us to say that Ava may be wearing glasses. She has a black jacket, grey jogging bottoms on and trainers, and she's carrying a grey backpack, we're told. And Lexi said to be wearing a black jacket with a distinctive KWD logo on her chest pocket. But obviously huge concern, huge anxiety this evening. To recap, the pair was seen at Spalding Station yesterday morning. Officers believe they could be on the way to Cornwall. If you need to see those pictures again, we've got them on our website this evening to remind yourself any help is needed.
Thank you very much, Matt. Let's hope that they're found very quickly.
Now, smart motorways have been branded as a catastrophic waste of time, money and effort by the president of the AA, as reports have been released assessing their benefits.
The Department of Transport released more than 800 pages of reports following pressure from Rotherham campaigner Claire Mercer. Now, you may remember that her husband was killed in 2019 on the stretch of the M1 near Meadowhall. Adam Fowler is live by the M1 for us tonight. And Adam, there's still a lot of debate about this type of motorway, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Of course, any keen drivers will recognise this stretch of motorway just behind me. This is the M1 just near Meadowhall, that smart motorway section. And it's sections, sorry, smart motorways like this that national highways say are the safest roads that we have. The AA, however, would disagree. After analysing more than 800 pages of a new report that's come out, they've come to the conclusion that it's a catastrophic waste of time, money and effort. That's according to their president, Edmund King, who points out that schemes like this that are associated with these reports have slower journey times and cause traffic jams and worsen safety records. That's what he's saying. We spoke to Jack Cousins from the AA earlier on.
Earlier this week, we revealed that just under half of drivers say they feel nervous or anxious when using a motorway that either has a permanently lost the hard shoulder or temporarily has it as a running lane. Now that's up from around 20% just 12 months ago. That's such a huge increase in the levels of anxiety and shows that drivers have lost faith in the smart motorway system.
Well, regular viewers of Calendar will know that Rotherham campaigner Claire Mercer has fought for the reinstatement of the hard shoulder. What does she make of this report?
Well, she has campaigned for the release of these reports, among the many things that she's campaigned for. Of course, her husband Jason died in 2019 when his car stopped on the M1 after it had been converted to a smart motorway just near Meadowhall, and there was nowhere safe for him to stand. So naturally, when she got these reports, that was the section that she turned to first.
When I queried time and time again over the past 6.5 years why that section was even converted into a smart motorway, I was told it was to combat congestion and also to boost the economy for the surrounding area. And I've read this report, and it says that there has been minimal improvement, if any at all, on the journey times, and that the business case, the case for the improvement to the business economy in that area just didn't prove it. And it's a medium return in value for money.
Well, the Department for Transport says that it won't roll out any more of these smart motorways, even though it says they are the safest roads we have, and it says that's in terms of deaths or serious injuries, and it says that they are just as safe or safer than the roads they replace. National Highways says safety is our #1 priority, and we'll continue to take action to reduce the number of people killed or seriously injured on our roads.
Adam Fowler live beside the M1 in Sheffield. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for your company this Friday night on Calendar. Still to come. Ahead of the Winter Olympics opening ceremony in Italy, we catch up with one of South Yorkshire's medal hopefuls.
And weather-wise, are we finally saying goodbye to that cold east wind off the North Sea? Can that be a little bit more promising over the next few days? All the detail a little later on.
Thank you, Kerry. And before that, we'll get a roundup of some more of the day's news. And people who fear that they've lost money in the collapse of the Sheffield legal firm PM Law have been told to apply for compensation by the Solicitors Regulation Authority. The law firm is under investigation after hundreds of staff lost their jobs and countless clients were left stranded following its sudden shutdown on Monday. Now, the regulator has told those affected that any money in the firm's account will be returned, but those missing money will need to make a compensation application.
An Asda store in Barnsley has been fined £500,000 for repeatedly having out-of-date food on its shelves. Despite warnings, the Trading Standards team from Barnsley Council discovered the products were still being sold at the store on Old Mill Lane in June 2024. Asda says it's disappointed that out-of-date products were found on sale and have since introduced a new date code checking process.
A memorial plaque has been unveiled for Busby Babe footballer Mark Jones in his hometown of Wombwell. The former Manchester United footballer Mark died in the Munich air disaster in 1958. Today, hundreds of people braved the rain to see his daughter Lynn unveil the plaque on Wombwell High Street.
Well, he were a legend, wasn't he? He were a footballer that were up and coming, you know, and he's just... You're going to get me upset. He's just... a favourite, one of the favourites from Busby Babes from Wombwell.
It's taken a long, long time for us to recognise him properly. But now we have, and this monument that we've laid in the town square is a fitting memorial to a legend.
Shame the weather wasn't better, really. The ITV Evening News continues here at 6:30. Here's a look.
Charlene, we certainly will. OK, let's get some sport now. Arif's with us now. Evening, Arif.
Evening.
And Rugby League's back this weekend.
It is. This off-season's flown by, hasn't it? It feels like just yesterday was the grand final. But Hull KR will start the defence of their Challenge Cup this evening.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Well, after waiting 45 years to get their hands on the Challenge Cup, Hull KR want to retain the trophy they won last June. Tonight, they face a potential banana skin as they welcome part-time amateur side Loch Lane to Craven Park in just over an hour's time. Head coach Willie Peters isn't taking any chances, though, as he's named a strong team for tonight's third-round tie. It was the start of an historic year for Hull KR. Winning the Challenge Cup last June set them on course to win a historic treble. Tonight, they'll make their first defence of the Cup against part-time amateur side Loch Lane. Despite the gulf between the two sides, head coach Willie Peters isn't taking the fixture lightly.
It's going to be majority of our team because it's our first Challenge Cup game, and that's how we're taking it. You know, it shows the respect to Loch Lane, but also the Challenge Cup competition itself. You know, we value the competition, and we'll show that by fielding a strong team.
Good to be back then, Noah?
Yes, very. It's changed a bit. Yeah, since I've been here a few years.
Noah Booth is a familiar face to the opposition. He spent nearly a decade at Loch Lane before joining the Robins, and this fixture has divided his family.
My granddad played for Loch Lane, my dad's coached down here, been on the committee, and I played here for 10 years. So from being 7-year-old to leaving when I was 16, that's all I know, that's all I knew, so yeah.
So they're going to be spotting Loch Lane?
I imagine my dad will be, yeah. I think, I think so, yeah.
How was that going to feel when your family wants you to lose?
Well, I know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But no, that's off to them. I think they'll come over, a few family members are coming over, and it'll be good to watch. But last year we did the same, we played here for Hunslet, so to do it 2 times in a row is a bit strange, to be fair.
KR were drawn as the away side, but due to a lack of infrastructure at Loch Lane's ground, the game's been moved to Craven Park. The gate receipts will still go to the amateur side, allowing them to make some major improvements.
I've been looking at the floodlights outside. They need replacing. We need some LED lights putting up. So hopefully we make enough to part fund getting some LED lights up, and then we've got a bit of a legacy at the club from one game, which is tremendous.
With a taste of success, Hull KR want to start their defence with a statement win. Okay, boxing now, and Terry Harper will look to become the unified lightweight world champion in April. The Denneby fighter on the right will top the bill in an all-female card in London when she takes on fellow Brit Caroline Dubois. Harper, who is already a three-weight world champion, says the fight comes at the perfect time in her career.
This fight isn't about the belts. Like, for me, I just want to be Caroline, and that'll be the sweetest victory in my career. And I think I can give myself finally a pat on the back once I do that.
I mean, it's a great time, isn't it, for sports fans, because the sporting action continues a bit further afield as well, doesn't it, over the next few weeks?
It does, Mike. I'm really looking forward to this one, as the opening ceremony of the 2026 Winter Olympics will get underway in an hour or so's time in the northern Italian city of Milan. Team GB has its sights on a possible record-breaking medal haul, and as usual, we have strong local interest, especially in the pairs figure skating. Luke Digby from Sheffield and his partner Anna Viapin.
Hoping to be in contention are pairs skaters Luke Digby from Sheffield and his partner Anna Vipen Law.
I think the hope out the games is, like we always hope for when we step on the ice, is finishing the routine, knowing that we did the best on the day, and hopefully delivering one of our best performances ever is the dream on Olympic ice.
Does medals come into consideration? Do you dare think of that?
I think for us it's one of these things where if we go out and do our utmost best, then we'll let the future fold out.
I think we know where we're progressing, and over the years we've gradually climbed the world ranking, so we're gradually getting there, but maybe not quite yet.
How important is that personal relationship when you're on the ice?
I think it's key. I think we've been skating now together for the last 6 years, and we've gradually built that, and we often say that we do have that telepathic almost signal between us on competition day where we don't need to say much, but we know what each other's thinking.
You hang on there just for a moment, because we're going to stick with the sporting theme. No doubt you will recognise this chap.
Mighty Mariner.
Yes, indeed it is. How do you feel about a bit of fancy dress yourself?
It's not normally my thing, but I wouldn't mind giving that a go. It'd be quite fun, I think.
Okay.
It'll be warm.
Well, it certainly will. Well, I'll tell you what, listen into this one, because this might be for you. This might be your opportunity, because Grimsby Town are on the lookout for energetic people to don its mascot suit.
Yes, they need more people to transform into the Mighty Mariner to bring the match day atmosphere to life. But it's not just a role within the white lines of the football field. We sent Vicky Smith to find out more.
Well, I'm at the home of Grimsby Town, where they are on the hunt for some more mascots. I'm here to figure out if you guys at home have what it takes, and to help me with that is Jack Johnson. So tell me, your ideal Mighty Mariner, perfect candidate, what are you looking for?
I think it's got to be somebody with personality, for starters, somebody that's used to appear in front of a crowd, ideally, but equally it's got to be somebody that understands the club values and understands our place within the community, because that's what we want them to be able to do.
The interview process, is it going to be a gruelling process? How are you going to filter out the Mighty Mariners from the not so mighty Mariners?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, going to be a bit unusual, isn't it? It's not the standard job that's out there in the market, but we're going to obviously see what the person would look like in the costume, how they move, how they interact with people as well.
Obviously, it's a fun role, but equally an important role for the club and the community.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why we're obviously looking for a pool of people to do this, rather than just an individual, is that we want Mighty to have more of a presence out in the community, whether it's supporting the work of the foundation, which is the club's charitable arm. They're out in the community every day working with young people, old people, people with disabilities.
And can you tell me a little bit about the history of the Mighty Mariner?
Yeah, so Mighty Mariner, I can remember back in the 90s when it used to have a big yellow sou'wester, and used to have a mini Mariner as well. So it's been something that's been part of a match day here, on and off, for probably nearly 40 years now. So obviously that needs to continue. It's a big part of the identity of Blundell Park, especially for younger supporters and families. And the aim of this is to try and obviously get Mighty out in the community a bit more as well. That's why we're looking for more people to be Mighty Mariner.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like a pretty good gig to me. And if you fancy it and it sounds like something that you could do, you know where to come and who to speak to. And as for me, I've been told that I have an interview now, so wish me luck.
Oh, Vicky.
I think she's got all the skills needed exactly for that role.
Definitely. She can turn her hand to anything, can Vicky, so yeah, she can do it.
Actually, sizing up that suit, I reckon you're about the right height, Keza.
Well, I might have wanted to be in it today. It still felt quite chilly.
I know, but it's quite warm in there, isn't it?
Yeah, another disappointing day in terms of how it felt and how it looked. Oh my goodness, but you know I like to bring the joy. So we've now said goodbye to our solar winter. So if you think, as opposed to sort of like a January to December, that our sunshine has seasons monthly in sort of quarters, then we've just said goodbye to the darkest 3 months or darkest quarter.
This is good news.
So if you think that 13 degrees altitude above the horizon on the shortest day, if you think 60 degrees on the, of course, the longest day on the 21st of June, we are now today at 21 degrees.
Not bad, is
that
it?
sun is on its way up.
That means
it's in the right direction.
We can come out of hibernation, can't we?
I know, it just feels like we're just getting there a little bit. But of course, we need to see the blue sky and the sunshine. We don't need the cloud. Now, I'm going to show you this. 7.7 hours, not 77, 7.7 hours. That is Sheffield over the past 3 weeks since the 17th of January. That's all the sunshine that we've seen. We'd expect in February for Sheffield 76 hours. So we've got a long way to go to get to the average. And I've just looked at the first 5 days of February, and everywhere in the region has had less than an hour's sunshine.
Is this you counting the hours? Are you just looking out of your window going, oh, that'll be an hour, there's another one?
It's very technical. So yeah, we need a little bit more in the way of sunshine, don't we? I showed you this shot yesterday of Ola Bar on the Sheffield-Derbyshire border. Of course, it was very, very snowy, foggy and windy. This is the same place today. Still a little bit of snow on the side of the road, but still foggy, less of a wind. Oh my goodness, we had half the month's worth of rain in Sheffield yesterday. It's getting a bit better towards the weekend, but don't pack your wellies away anytime soon. Here's the forecast.
Today's forecast: seafood and sugar cube towns. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Yes, the rain did really bounce down today, particularly this morning, and fairly grey conditions into the afternoon, continuing to feel damp. Not spoiling the snowdrops though. At Doddington Hall, a big thank you to Margaret Hughes of Lincoln for the share. As we head into the weekend, a tiny bit brighter, a little milder with lighter winds, but unfortunately still quite cloudy and rain never too far away. Low pressure remains in charge, but the isobars loosen a little for Saturday and Sunday, and we drag in our air from a southerly quarter rather than an east-southeasterly, so not feeling quite as raw and chilly. As we head through into this evening and the first part of the night, it continues to stay cloudy and damp. Everything nudging northwards though, and there will be a clearer slot. But with that, we see some low cloud, even to lower levels as we head through into the early hours of tomorrow. So misty and murky, still feeling on the chilly side. The wind's much lighter. You can see a bit of cloud and a few showers creeping in to the southern half of the region by dawn. There is sometimes 7:37 and 4:57. So tomorrow there will be some drier, brighter spells in between showery outbreaks of rain. The winds aren't as strong as they have been. They're coming in from a southerly direction, but it's still breezy out towards the coast. Highs though into double figures, 9 or 10 Celsius by the afternoon. As we head into the second half of the weekend, we're hoping there'll be fewer showers, a little bit drier, a little bit brighter, but showers or rain never too far away. So always on the cloudy and unsettled side, but milder side at least for the first half of next week.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Am I going to get wet tomorrow morning?
Maybe at times, yeah.
Great time to be stood next to a football pitch.
Exactly, that's where I'll be tomorrow.
Soggy. Well, enjoy your weekend if you can. Stay dry. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.